The report that he gave me this year was that if something happened to me today, my business would sustain itself for about 6 months to a year.
Wow.
And after 20 plus years of doing business, that shocked me. And he also told me, he said, in order to be very profitable and to be sustainable in the way that I'm looking to do, he said, I would need more like 80 to 100 agents.
To bring in the revenue. Which
I'm not really interested in doing, and having that liability on all those agents and having to keep up with all of that. I love real estate, but my passion is in helping customers and selling and listing real estate. I'm not interested in being a babysitter, so I want to stay small.
Absolutely. Well, I absolutely understand that. And it's nothing, we can both agree that real estate's changed tremendously. I mean, for me, and just, I've been in business less than half the time. You're such a rock star, I can just imagine. But, it's a cycle, and it's because the model's changed, and it's nothing that we've done wrong. It's important for y'all to say that, because the brokers are already feeling vulnerable. They've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in years and years of their life, and now they have to admit that they're failing, that they did something wrong, and then you just go out of your way to say, we've done nothing wrong. It's just changed. Technology's changed it. The clients search for homes have changed. They don't come to the office anymore. They don't need to see an MLS book. Everything has changed. And sometimes it's not as easy for people to swallow, okay? I mean, especially if you've been doing it for over 20 years. What the truth of the matter is, the independent franchise model, in my opinion, is just broken. It's just broken, and we have to come to those terms. I lost him again. Let me pause this.
Okay.
Awesome. So we talked about the cycles and how everything's changed. When someone joins this company here at eXp, it's a win for all. When I started this company, the stock was $1.80, and now it's over $80. You guys wrap your head around that, right?
Wow.
And then you can say something fun like, I bought a boat, I bought an airplane, I bought a house. Terry, you can talk about the Icon Awards and how it's changed people's lives. I feel like, I've gotten a lot of phone calls these last couple of weeks of, I have $200,000 in stock, or I can buy that house in Austin, or I can do this, or every time I'd get a check, I'd have to put 20 or 30% away for savings, and I can keep that and put it towards something else because I have savings now. So start to play on the emotions of, you're going to be doing that not only for you, but these icons that are top producers in your company are now going to have their lives changed, Before it was, open
for how long do you want to work out?
It's up to you.
Jenny, let
I
me.
don't think I'm already.
Perfect. Before, and everyone can relate to this, right? It was open doors until we die, and hopefully get some rental property. And agents are awful at saving money, right, Terry? Are your agents pretty good at saving?
No. I mean, notorious for not saving their money.
Right.
Yeah.
Go get a trip to Mexico or a boat, but yeah, we're not. So this is the only company that has international or national health insurance for our agents. So it's just a different model. It's like Wall Street business meets real estate. And at this point, typically they're asking what the franchise fee is. You can walk them through that. But Terry, let's say you have 8 agents, right? And you have a lot of options. You can either bring those 8 agents over to your group, your register group. You can start getting paid now. You can turn loose your responsibilities of being an owner broker. You don't have to make sure they're paid on time, deal with compliance, the liability, the E&O insurance, the learning, the new guidelines, the rules. I feel like, our state's always changing, getting leads, et cetera, et cetera. None of those troubles of being a broker owner. Would that be nice to not have to deal with that?
Absolutely.
Would you be open to growing more if you know that you didn't have to deal with all the necessities that you're dealing with now?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many things that a brokerage has to worry about. I mean, equipment breakdowns, and that are vital to your business,
Right.
And getting somebody in there to make the repairs, which has happened to me on a number of occasions. And I started out with brand new equipment. So, any problem that you have as an individual agent is tenfold when you own your own business. It's, so there's always something reaching in your wallet to take what you've made, to take away. And when you're by yourself, and essentially that's how I am, I'm by myself,
Right.
to grow my company. Because as we said, my agents aren't interested in growing my company for me. exclusively, you know. So, but I think eXp is something that is definitely an opportunity for any brokerage.
I love it. So let me tell you a few options. So you guys all know too, when you're recruiting big teams, a lot of big teams, especially the team leader, know that they're going to be okay. They don't know that they can grow a lot and make a lot more money here, but they really truly care about their agents, and they want to make sure that their agents have a long-term play here, but that they're also not losing out on a lot of money. So there's a win-win. So you have the standard team, which is what most of us already know about, right? They're going to join your team. They're going to be on a half cap. They're going to pay in a little bit for every transaction to you, the team leader, and they pay $8,000. They're capped. They can also pick, if they're a buyer's or seller's agent, to go ahead and opt in for the full cap, and they can qualify to be an icon agent. So based on their production, let them pick that. If you're talking to a bigger team that has at least 10 agents and they're doing 40 million in production, 175 deals per year, and there's a lot of them out there, surprisingly. We just brought over an amazing group. They did 700 deals last year, like mind-blowing. We're going to announce them in a couple weeks. That's a mega icon team, and they'll qualify for a quarter cap. So if you're, even if you're a broker owner and you have 10 people and you did a lot of production, you can say, hey, everyone, we're going to put you down to a $5,000 or $4,000 cap. After that, you're at 100%. But, if you're a broker, you might be going, well, geez, I'm getting rev share, but, then I'm getting a quarter cap, and is it really worth it? And I've still got this office to pay for, and I've got all these fees, and my printer's broken. So you can tell them that they can build a business within the business of eXp. For example, whatever makes sense to you and is legal, right? So let's say you want to negotiate office fees. Okay, $100 a month or $200 a month, come in and use my office. Let's say you want to go, okay, I'm going to charge you a $250 transaction fee that you can then pass along to your client. Let me teach you the script for that. That's another profit center for the broker, right? Let's say after your $4,000 cap and you're at 100%, you're getting that quarter cap because of me. I'm going to charge you a referral fee or a transaction fee or a 10% fee as the broker. So I'm still making money, but the agent still has a really low fee, and they're still getting all the opportunities that you get with eXp. You can charge them a monthly fee to be part of your team and use your accolades, have your transaction coordinator do your paperwork. If you're stuck in that office and you can't get rid of it, make it a profit center for you. Build enough people in your team to help pitch in to where you're making money off of that. eXp is very open they have an open opportunity policy. So whatever's legal that brings in money, it's a free for all. So I can help you structure that and find a way that you're actually making a profit from switching over before you even sell a house. Does that sound great?
Absolutely. Wonderful. When can we get started?
I love it. He's already said yes to me twice. So I'll keep teaching, but at this point I would have already said, let's do it. Let's start the process. We've got our team's transaction people in place. Let's rock and roll. But let's say he's still giving me a hard time, or he's saying, hey, I've got, an in-house insurance guy, or hey, I've got to figure this out. So what we've seen, and you'll notice it if you start looking around at all these like medium-sized brokerages, is they now have a title company, or they've got a lending company. They have an in-house this. And what you'll find is they're literally using their brokerage that they're probably losing money or breaking even on to fuel their title company that they're actually making a profit on, to fuel their home warranty company, their insurance company. Those are where you make a lot of money. And brokers started teaming up with these people because they see that their profits are lowering, and they're using their agent count to build that. So you can tell them, keep your title company, keep what's working, right? And then eXp is actually a perfect fit for them because they don't have to invest the time into the business that's not producing the results. If your traditional brokerage isn't working, let's take eXp. They can take over all that, and then you can double down on what's paying you your bills.
Let me say to you all that it is true. If you come over to eXp as an agent, that's simple. As a brokerage, it's not so simple to just convert over. But let me say this to you. If a broker understands what they're being told and sees the business, they will do whatever they need to do to make it happen. If they don't, it's because there's something about the business that they don't understand.
It just started.
Okay, so keep that in mind. They need to hear you say more things. They need to learn more about the company. And sometimes brokers have an ego, right? That doesn't happen. Brokers don't have egos, do they?
Never.
Of course they do. And so they need to kind of let that wall down and be willing to hear what you have to say at the same time. And sometimes it's a timing issue. People are more willing to hear about help when they're in pain than they are willing to hear about help when they're comfortable. So don't stop talking to a particular brokerage or an agent just because they tell you no today.
Yeah, my average for big hitters joining my group is a 2-year of positively being persistent. After 2 years, they start to get the hang of it. So
There you go.
Reconfirm if it's a team or a brokerage or a big producer. They really do, they care about their wallet, but they really do care about their agents. So just reconfirm that their agents are going to be okay. They're going to have a retirement. They have an opportunity for growth that they would never have with their brokerage. A broker is going to have a true exit strategy. They've all had friends that were brokers, right? And they've all seen them sell their brokerage at used furniture prices. And the agents are now gaining this opportunity of stock and lead generation and rev share and referrals from an international company from all over. They're getting all this leverage, and the broker doesn't have to deal with any of it, and they're still getting paid. So if you really understand the mindset of that business owner, like Terry was saying last week, which was my aha of saying, I committed over a decade to this and I invested $150,000 a year into this. That's really hard to give up and make this jump to this company where you're no longer the boss, you're just a player in the team. But to really see how it lays out and how it benefits them long-term and the agents, once you get that mindset, I think you could apply that to anything.
I gotta tell you, when I first joined eXp, I literally saw it as, this is how I felt. I felt like in doing it, I was going to take a small step backwards because I was closing my company. But I also saw it as a way to take a giant leap forward. And that's exactly how it worked. I took a small leap backwards just to take a giant leap forward and grow way beyond what I was capable of doing before. And that's the trick. That's what you have to get people to see. That's what you have to get them to understand. And what will help you to do that is knowledge about eXp. And listen to people like Amanda, because she's amazing.
Well, just tag us in. Everybody has a different business and they have different whys and why nots. And so just truly my new thing is I sit down with someone, I say, tell me about your business, what's working and what's not. And that sentence alone, they just open up. They'll tell you what they love about their company, what they're struggling with, where they want to grow, what their goals are. And then I sit down and I go, okay, here's your goals. Here's how eXp is going to help you get there. And here's how you can't do it where you are right now. And that is, like Hui was saying, you really listen to them, making them have the information that they need to make that decision on their own and not feel pressured into it will go so much farther than you just vomiting eXp information. Because someone else shared, I think it was Scott maybe, a video of someone last week who was doing this big thing in Tahoe, and they said, people say, I don't want to be a recruiter. That's just not me. It's a dirty word. I don't want to be a recruiter. And what you're saying when you say that is, I don't want to sit down with, I don't care enough or don't have the time enough to sit down with Terry and learn about him and how I can help him and what's his business like and how he could benefit. Or maybe it doesn't make sense. If you don't want to be a recruiter, someone who sits down and strategizes with someone to help lift them up and help them grow and give them the opportunity that we all are calling life-changing, right? So if you don't feel like you're in a position to be a recruiter or to talk to someone and help them, then you don't care about those people. So just to have that mind shift change of just because I'm benefiting doesn't mean it's bad, has gone a long way.